I don't know about the whole, oh shit, what do I do?
And then you've got your enforcer job. That's how good you are at being an enforcer.
See, the way yours would work would be like, no, I know their weakness in this book. Flips through book, gets batted across the street while flipping through book.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, stuff like that.
Like a slow reader.
See, like the way I did Neiman is his gimmick is knows the playbook, and his weakness is completely lost without the playbook.
Yeah.
So if there's a situation that enforced training doesn't cover, he's lost.
Like what cops call bound by the book. You're not able to think out of protocol, so you can't actually think on the spot. So
yeah, yours could be
bound by
yours would probably be a little different. Yours would just be inexperienced in the field or something.
Yeah, that's what I was really good.
And it'd be like, oh well, let me look up what their weakness is on a laptop, and then you and the laptop are thrown into the swamp.
Yeah.
Luckily, Jake's character's there to save the day.
Right. That's weakness. Enforcer job is how well you are at enforce. In order to be an active field agent, you need at least a 10. And then you have competence. Well, actually, let's do skills first. Skills are things that are outside of your job and gimmick that you know how to do. Kind of hobbies or training you've had that doesn't really fit. So, like, Jeff's a baker, but he's got, I think, a mechanic skill or something.
From a
You've only got one skill? You are such a poorly rounded character.
Because I've had to work Girls Gone Wild events for so long, I'm really good at crowd control, but only for that type of crowd.
Yeah.
So, like, I can rile up some bros, but that's about it.
Yeah, they can be like special branches from your job. They should generally be unrelated. They're like hobbies, like really good at pool or plays poker really well.
Yeah. Like, I'm good at hunting, which if you just look at my sheet, nothing else is,
There's also skills like Google Foo, where you just happen to be really good at looking things up, or...
Which could also be a gimmick if you're really, really fucking good at it.
Oh, okay, so you're just like, what's his name on the guild? I don't know.
So these are things you're adept at, they're not like you said, a gimmick where you're so
a gimmick would be like you, it's always the first thing on your search engine and you always find it. Mm-hmm. A skill just helps you. But those are skills, and they're, like I say, they can be like playing poker or knows a lot of baseball trivia. We've had characters with skills like Deadhead before, which you know a lot about drums and dead music. Parrothead and Trekkie could be a skill.
Oh god, I wish I had that.
Yeah, I remember complaining yesterday about the existence of Jack Chick appreciation in the skill list.
You would probably, like, one of your skills would be, like,
we've
knowledge
got
of the fictional
quiz.
universe, of the world, of the character you play, because you get asked them at conventions all the time.
Yeah, you'd almost definitely have a skill in that.
It's like, yes, my spaceship was 40,000
Jack Chick-based product.
Yeah, Waxman's Warrior.
Huh. That's the game we were talking about with the character. It takes place in the afterlife as Jack Chick set it up.
It's one of
and you're
my
all people
favorites.
who have been sent to hell, some wrongly, some completely understandably, and they bust in and fight the giant robotic Jesus and confront God. When we were writing the first edition of QAGS, we had found the Jack Chick website. This was the early days of the internet, but they had the comics online. Even back then, this was like 98. No, 97. The book came out in 98. And we would do dramatic readings whenever we got bored of writing. And so there's Waxman's Warriors is about Rabbi Waxman who ends up going to hell because he's a dirty Jew. And so we always wanted to, according to Jack Chick, not me.
Sure.
Since I just noticed. But we always joked about we wanted to do the sequel comic called The Revenge of Rabbi Waxman. Like Rabbi Waxman like busts through heaven. It's like, we have a covenant! And we never got around to that, but I decided to run it as a game at Daikon one time, and it went really well, so we did a module based on it. And you're all sinners who have to...
Yeah, I was really skeptical about it at first, because it technically does have, like, religious undertones. But when I played it, it was actually really amusing, because I ended up playing an abortion doctor, just not like a bad guy at all.
No, the abortion guy was bad. Jake played the abortion guy.
Oh.
Because he loved killing babies.
What was I playing?
The abortion guy was bad because he sold baby organs on the black market.
I was playing John Cleese as what was he? He was. I think he was just like an atheist, like a really outspoken.
You were playing the character, the one character that's not actually from a chick track, the Dawkins character, who assumed he was just in a coma and dreaming.
I could actually use my disbelief as a power. It was great.
Now, Jake was playing the abortion doctor because you found Limbo and he opened up machine gun fire on the babies. Like, I hate babies!
Oh, God, yes.
Because the abortion doctors always really hate babies. Every time I've run it. Like, they hate them to death. Actually, at Gen Con, we had one extra player more than I had characters. So I had him play Judas. So
Nice. And he's just like...
His gimmick was always has 30 pieces of silver.
Which can be useful sometimes.
I can see playing.
I don't know
Judas.
if that was actually his gimmick or if that was just something we decided.
See, I would play Judas as like some hipsters. Like you weren't there, man. I was
You
there.
don't know.
I was there before it was a big deal. Like, you know.
Okay, but anyway,
Back
that's
to, yeah.
skills. So Jack Chick Appreciation is a skill that I myself have. And then competencies are something new we added for M-Force, because in the first edition you just had an M-Force job number. The problem with that is M-Force has like guys who go out in the field who have the M-Force job. And it also has like librarians who have the M-Force job, and they're good in different areas. So you've got, and the problem with that, even if you write the name, like your M-Force librarian, you've still got the same number. So if you're an M-Force librarian with a 16, you're still going to be a badass with a gun, which doesn't really make sense. So we included these competencies, and there are 4 of them that you have to have at least a +1 on to be a field agent, and then you can take others as well. The basics are combat, which is being able to fight monsters, because that's what you do. Investigation, being able to find the monsters so you can fight them. Monsterology, which I'm thinking they're kind of like super skills. They're really broad skills related directly to Enforcement. Monsterology, which I probably need to broaden. I want to call it lore, but that's what Supernatural calls it, so I gotta find a cool name. But that's knowing about monsters. And operations, which is knowing about how M-Force works. So you use your operation, and also how field work is done, like the proper procedures and stuff. But you'd also use it to try to like get funding or, you know, negotiate your insurance or
Do the specific paperwork involved.
And then you can have elective competencies, which are things like Jake's character is a maritime agent, which means he's been trained for operating on the water. You have research science. I've got all this stuff.
Yeah, some of them are in one of those.
Yeah, I've got the packet here.
Yeah, you can't hoard the packets. That's all we got.
Yeah, here's the competencies, and there are also archetypes with suggested skills and stuff, and gimmicks and things.
Yeah, that's some stuff that's...
And then there's good old Appendix 1 if you don't like those. And you do not, please do not think you have to pick skills and stuff from those lists.
Alright.
They're just basic ideas.
They're just to give you an idea. I'd actually rather you have things that are specific to your character than things in the list. And the specialty competencies. What's the difference between those?
Specialty class one.
Oh yeah, there's basically 2 levels of other types. 3 levels of competencies. One you start out with. So, tagline is something your character might say. You should not say a lot. You should not feel the need to repeat every 5 seconds. Think yippee-ki-yay motherfucker. Bruce Willis says it once a movie, and that's just fine. The WFITM, the weird-looking acronym, is who would play him or her in the movie. That should preferably be an actor, or at least someone people would know. Dumb fact is just what it sounds like, a dumb fact about your character that has nothing to do with anything. Local office and job title are role-playing things. Your local office is obviously New Orleans. Job title, you're probably just field agents, but you could have a specialty or something.
Public relations.
What's that WWPA?
That's who would play him or her in the movie.
Oh.
Within him. Health points, just like hit points in D&D. You lose them all, you die. They start out equal to your body. Yum Yums are, how many points do we start out with? 100?
This one, we started out with... I believe you're right. Go ahead.
Yum Yums, first you use them to build
Why are you
characters.
giving me the look?
I went into the bedroom. You're sensitive.
That's not poop.
I know. I know it's not poop. I know what it is. And I noticed you didn't clean it.
It happened not too long before he left. I will clean it.
He's getting ready to go to bed. And there's also an oat milk bottle.
I did not know about that. I didn't lay him down with milk on. I'm in trouble. You win this round. Your butt looks cute in those jeans. I said you win this round.
So you said after.
I'll clean up later.
He's getting ready to go to bed.
Okay. You win. Love you.
I shouldn't be laughing
Sorry.
at that. I'm the female. I really
Once the
shouldn't be
game
laughing
starts,
at
Yum
that.
Yums, you'll earn them for being interesting and doing cool things and helping the story along.
Okay.
You can use them, they're telling fate points or karma points in some games. You use them to get die bonuses. You can also subtly change reality. Like if you're in a room and there's a desk there and you really need a book of matches, you can spend a Yum Yum to make a book of matches happen to be in the desk. As long as we haven't established that there's no matches. You can't alternate things that have been established.
Like open it and then close it and then spend a Yum Yum and open it.
Yeah, they don't magically appear.
Yeah, you can't